Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the update stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Artemis, Cobalt, and Shadow. Say hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey guys.
So, what do we have going on today? Well, it is update day, and there is a bunch of new content coming into the game. As always, we will go through what is coming into the game and what you as a player can expect come this update. Now, you might realize, wait, what's going on? Weren't you supposed to do this stream an hour ago? And you're right, if you are stateside, then we are actually an hour later than normal. But that is due to time and daylight savings time being dumb because the UK does it like a week earlier. So, given Face Punch is out of the UK, they did their daylight savings time last week. And so, long and short, the update is expected at 3 p.m. EST today as opposed to 2 p.m. EST. So within the next hour, we expect this update to go live. As with all first Thursday updates, this does force a map wipe across the board when the update comes out. No sign of a forced blueprint wipe. However, a lot of servers do choose to wipe their blueprints when the update hits. That includes most of Rustafied servers, with the exception of EU and US medium threes. Those only wipe blueprints when forced. But yeah, we got a good update coming in today. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to do at shadow_rustified in chat. And especially on days like today where we have extra people watching, it's more important than ever if you really want your question to get answered that you do tag shadow_rustified in chat, because otherwise she probably won't see it. So, what do we have going on today? Well, real quick, Charitable Rust is this month. A couple weeks from now, November 19th and 20th. That's the weekend of Saturday and Sunday. And this year we're supporting World Central Kitchen. We've got Twitch drops. You can get a preview of them if you go to twitch.facepunch.com. Note the time on that, the start of those Twitch drops may need to be tweaked given the whole daylight savings time thing. But we got Twitch drops, exclusive skins on the item store. We're going to have prizes, talent shows, exclusive game modes, races, and much, much more, all available on the official server list. The Charitable Rust event servers will be on there the whole weekend. Tons of prizes, all raising funds for an amazing cause, World Central Kitchen. Check them out, wck.org, if you're interested in more information. Long and short, though, they bring meals to people all over the world who are most in need of it. Okay, and we'll have maybe a little more on that in a minute, but let's get into what's going on in this update. What can you guys expect once this patch goes live? Well, pinnacle of the update, or one of the pinnacles, I should say, is a new pistol has been added. This is the Prototype 17 is the name that it is going by. And if you look at it, and if you've ever played pretty much any other video game with a gun before, you'll be like, that ain't no Prototype 17, that's a Glock. Well, I don't know if you'll say it like that, but it is a Glock, clearly. But I think licensing, all that stuff, they probably just couldn't use that word. But it is a Glock looking pistol, and it's got an 18 round magazine. And the interesting thing about this pistol is it is burst fire. So it fires, you pull the trigger, it fires 3 rounds in a burst. That's how that works, right? So 3 shots will go out each time you pull the trigger, and it has a very fast fire rate subsequently. And also the recoil is lower because of the burst or whatever. Now, the interesting thing about this, well, real quick, as far as damage and all that stuff is concerned, this guy's pretty strong. It's pretty powerful because each individual round that you fire out of here will deal as much damage as an individual round from a semi-auto pistol. And in fact, the stats for the semi-auto pistol and the Prototype 17 are pretty similar with the exception of fire rate. And so, but instead of 1 round with the semi-auto pistol hitting, you might land 3 shots doing triple the damage. So this guy can be pretty strong, pretty powerful. That being said, it's hard to find a Prototype 17. It's proving to be pretty rare. Now, take all this with a grain of salt because, as with any first implementation of anything in this game, it is subject to change. It's subject to different balance and updates and tweaks and all that stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some balance with this. But as it stands, based on our testing, we're only finding the prototype 17 in Bradley and Attack Heli crates. And it's a small drop percent chance in those. We're finding it very rarely in our testing. So you can't craft it, you can't research it. It's literally only found in Bradley and Heli crates. If you do happen across one, you may want to go burst firing people all over the place, or you may want to recycle it because that leads us to the next new item in the game, which is called the burst module. And this is a new attachment in the game that is exactly true to its name. It's a burst module. Added to any weapon, it basically changes that weapon's fire rate to a 3-shot burst, just like the prototype 17. And when it does this, it increases the fire rate by 20% and lowers the recoil by 20%. Now, the only way to get a burst module is to recycle a prototype 17 as it stands now. You can't research it, you can't craft it, so you can only get one if you come across a prototype 17 and then you recycle it. Now, once you get that burst module, you can add it to the following weapons: custom SMG, LR300, M39, M92, MP5, semi auto pistol, semi auto rifle, and the Thompson. Those are the weapons specifically that the burst attachment or the burst module works with. And once again, when added to any of these weapons, it switches the fire rate to 3-shot burst, and that is a 20% increase in fire rate, and it lowers the recoil by 20%. So that is the burst module. And once again, you only get it from the prototype if you recycle the prototype 17. Now, also coming in this update, we've got a new train wagon. And I'm sensing a bunch of questions about the burst module and the prototype 17. We will get to questions. Once again, if you have a question, please do tag shadow_rustified in chat. It's just much easier with everyone chatting to see it in there. But next on the list of new content coming into the game, we've got a new train wagon, the Caboose. Now, this has been in process for, I want to say, a couple months now, and we're finally seeing it come in the game. Now, this wagon is similar to other train wagons in that you can attach it to a larger train and drag it around the map on the rail network. Now, unlike other wagons, this train or this caboose will provide you opportunities to game. So it's got a bunch of opportunities to entertain yourself through gambling. And we all love some gambling of scrap, right? So in the caboose, you're going to find two slot machines, not, yeah, two slot machines. We'll leave it at that. A 4-person poker table, and introducing the newest game in Rust, the newest card game in Rust, Blackjack. And so with this, there is no safe zone. So you can be on this train, you can sit down, you can gamble, but you want to keep an eye out because there's no safe zone moving around with you. So you are subject to bandits hopping on the train and murdering you as you're trying to gamble your scraps. So keep that in mind as you are playing blackjack or whatever games you might be playing in this new caboose once it goes live. Now, it also, you might notice, has a bunch of lights and stuff on it, and the games all light up and everything, and that's really cool. You might look at that and say, oh shit, do I need to provide it power or fuel? And no, you don't. Uh, it just works. So no fuel, no power required. You just come across it, you can hop on the caboose and start playing away. You can also operate the outside lights if you like. There are switches on either the front or the back entrance, and it's just those traditional light switches that we're seeing around monuments now and stuff like that. So you can toggle the outside lights. It does have some cool outside fun gambling lights, casino-esque, you know. Now, when it comes to destroying the caboose, you can destroy the caboose just like you can destroy other train wagons. Based on our testing, it has 1.2k HP. And to destroy one from full HP, it's going to take 2 direct rocket hits and about 10 explosive rounds. So 2 rocket hits won't be quite enough to destroy it unless for some reason it's already lower health. But 2 rockets and like 10 explosive rounds, and you are destroying the caboose. If you're in a caboose that is destroyed, and you're gambling, say you've deposited some scrap into blackjack and you're sitting and playing blackjack, and the caboose you're in gets destroyed, one of two things can happen. If you die in the explosion, then the scrap that you had just goes into the jibs and muck of looted. It's lootable in the ruins of the wagon, so to speak. Now, if, however, you're gambling and you got to scrap in and the caboose explodes, but you live through that, then the scrap gets put back in your inventory. So that's just how that works either way, given there isn't a safe zone, right? So there are instances where you could just die while gambling. Now, let's get into blackjack real quick. Blackjack is a very common, gambling game, so you probably know roughly how to play it. It's you play against the house. Up to 3 people can play, but you can play by yourself if you want. And basically, you play against the house and you get cards, and you want those cards to add up as close to 21 without going over 21. And specifically, you want to beat the cards that the house has. And with this, you can place bets. You, of course, bet scrap. You do uh, like space bar, hold space to stand up and get out of there, beat a bet. And as you can see with the UI, it's very straightforward UI. It's similar to what we're seeing in poker and stuff like that. And it's very easy, even if you don't really know how to play blackjack, it's very easy to get into this and lose some scrap. And it adds everything up on the left and all that stuff. So with blackjack, how to play, it's very easy. You just go to the table and you sit down, you look down and deposit the scrap in front of you, and then you can just hit play game, and then you can just keep playing, and it goes round after round after round. And you can just keep gambling your little heart out. I feel like I had one other thing to say about blackjack, but I'm forgetting it. Oh, it is a first iteration. So we might see some more features if you're like a blackjack aficionado and you're like, hey, where's my ability to, I don't know much about blackjack, but double split or something. I don't even think that's a thing. But if you're wondering, like, oh, this is missing a piece of functionality, well, first iteration, there is probably more functionality coming in the future. And also, just want to acknowledge the like cool retro look of it. Like all this stuff looks really cool. It's got a nice rusty retro look to it, and yeah, I like what they did with it. So that is blackjack. Now, also coming in the game today, we have some new effects updates, specifically the VFX around fire and stuff. As you may recall from last month, we saw a not only change to the campfire model, but we saw new visual effects when it came to the fire in campfires and in furnaces and the like. And we're seeing a continuation of that, so to speak, with this month's update, where we're seeing new fire and lighting effects with certain things like candles, tuna can lights, BBQs, and Molotov cocktail ground fire. So we can show a little bit of that off now, but it's basically just some better looking fire effects for the miscellaneous other objects in the game that create that fire. And one second, I'm going to take a sip of water here. Yeah, my throat's a little dry today. Pardon me. But anyway, that is the visual effects. And then there's a bunch of other stuff, of course, coming in. As we generally see with these first Thursday updates, there's a slew of bug fixes and quality of life randomness and all that stuff. I'll summarize a few, but as always, you can see this stuff on rustafied.com. And also, when the dev blog goes live within about 45 minutes, they also have a summary of all this stuff as well. And if you're not familiar, every week, every Thursday on rustafied.com, I do post an article with text and pictures summarizing everything going on in development. And also, we're here every week on Twitch. Normally it's 1 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be back to that next week once our daylight savings time in the US takes effect. Once again, we're just 1 hour later because of daylight savings time this week. But yeah, every week, 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitch every Thursday. We are here showing off everything going on. Oh, and the other thing is I started posting them to YouTube the day after. So every Friday, if you miss the update preview stream on Twitch for whatever reason, you can subscribe to us on YouTube and see the VOD of the update stream every Friday, going live around 3 p.m. But let's get into what other stuff is happening. They fixed the flashlight and laser attachments not working in turrets, so that's finally working. Also, a little quality of life thing. You can now drag attachments directly onto weapons to swap them. And you can also now right click attachments onto a held weapon, so that's cool. If a player is assigned a sleeping bag by a friend while they are on the death screen will now update instead of requiring them to respawn and die again. Nice little quality of life thing, a kind of fringe case, but when it came about, it's nice to have that. They fixed some broken particle effects on the snow machine and also added a toggle turn on and turn off electrical inputs, um, which basically brings that snow machine in line with the fog machine and the strobe light inputs. They fixed some fluid IO entities adding incorrectly to battery drain, which was affecting water barrels and sprinklers. They fixed the memory cells not reducing pass through power by one, and they fixed the X or switches passing through power without subtracting consumption, and a couple other things, miscellaneous stuff. I do want to take a moment also to discuss server performance because the game has been struggling with server performance over the last several weeks. We at Rustafied have noticed the impact on our servers, and it looks like hopefully that is mostly resolved now, but I don't know for sure. I got my fingers crossed that performance is much better after this update. There has been some stuff going on with EAC and the changes they're doing on EAC, which has produced mass kicks in the servers, which you might have noticed. We've modified some CVARs and tweaked some settings where hopefully that won't happen again, but that's still an issue at play. And just overall server FPS has been lower, which has had us have to lower the overall number of slots in our servers. And then also AI has been such a bitch lately. AI, these certain elements just get stuck in the nav mesh or under things, and then it starts crashing the server. So if you've been in a server that crashes, or if you've been in a server and the AI isn't moving, that's likely what's at play. Unfortunately, that AI issue is an underlying issue with Unity, and so it's not like an easy thing for Facepunch to fix. And basically, what we have to do if a AI element goes all wacky, if we can find it and destroy it, that's cool. But that's hard to do on a big map and with 40 plus servers. So the other thing is to disable AI until the next restart, and then hopefully it resolves. It's all to say that there's been a compounding number of issues that have impacted gameplay in a negative way in the past several weeks. I want you to know that we are aware of them at Rustified. The developers are aware of them and working on resolutions for it. And I'm hoping that given this update and after this update and the various settings we've tweaked, that performance is more solid after this update. But I just did want to say I know performance and the overall gameplay has been shoddy the past couple of weeks. And I wanted to apologize to all of our players for any inconvenience that might have caused. Know that we always are doing the best we can with what we're working with to run the best servers that we possibly can. And I do strongly intend that after this update, everything is running smoother and we can have some really smooth, awesome, fresh wipe gameplay. So that is what's going on in the server realm. And with that, let's take some questions here.
Yes, let's do that. When is Whip? And is it a force wipe today?
So whip is, I was going to say at regular scheduled time, but that's only the case if you're over in the UK because the UK did time zone change daylight savings a week before the US did. So it's all to say the update is expected out at 3 p.m. EST. And is that 7 p.m. GMT now? Is that what
It
it
is,
is?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, and easier than that, we can say 40 minutes from now, roughly, is when the update's going to go live. Generally speaking, the server update hits about 15 minutes before the hour, and then we'll see about 10 minutes later the client update hit. So hopefully within the next half hour, we'll start seeing this update start to go live. And that's when, once the update is live, the force map wipe occurs, and then all the servers will come up with a fresh map. And it is not a forced blueprint wipe today, only a forced map wipe today, although a lot of servers do choose to wipe their blueprints with the first Thursday update, including most Rustified servers, with the exception of US and EU Medium 3.
Are the clocks coming out today?
The Glocks?
Clocks? Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said clocks, and I'm like, clocks I'm not sure of, but Glocks,
Sometimes can be hard, you know?
oh, you're telling me. But from a copyright standpoint or something, it's not being called a Glock, but we do have a new weapon, a new pistol coming into the game. And if you've ever seen a Glock in another video game or in person, and you look at the prototype 17 in Rust, well, it's pretty clear it's a Glock. And this is an 18-round magazine that offers burst fire. It's very hard to get. You only get it in Bradley and Heli crates. And it does pack a punch. It's like on par with the semi-auto pistol, but faster rate of fire. So, yeah.
Is there going to be a new AK recoil?
Oh, no new AK recoil today that we've seen. But thank you for asking.
Hi, I hope you all. Wait. Are good, I think he says. Do you think Facepunch is thinking to place a recycler on the fishing village one day? Oh, sometimes.
I think it's possible, but it's hard to say because first of all, they've definitely been made aware of the idea of adding a recycler to Fishing Village and other places. And in fact, some servers do add it already. Some official servers did add it without asking Facepunch, and Facepunch asked them to remove it immediately. So I don't know. Take with that what you will. I feel like if Facepunch really wanted a recycler at Fishing Village or other places, it probably would have been added by now, given it's a pretty easy add, I imagine. But your guess is as good as mine. I think it's possible, but not likely.
Do you have to hold the mouse for the duration of the burst, or does it do a full burst on click?
Full burst on click.
Can we see the burst module with an M39?
Sure, we can do that.
Sure.
Can you repair the prototype 17?
Oh, good question. Is it repairable?
That's a good question. I'll go check that in one sec. Let me just check out the M3 first.
And I imagine it is, but good question, because I don't know that we've directly tested that.
Yeah, I would imagine so, as there's a... oh, I don't know, though. I'm not going to assume. Yeah, I'll test it in one sec.
Do you know how many high velocity rockets to destroy the caboose?
I don't, but if we have some time here, maybe we can test that out. Cobalt, do you have a moment? Can you test that real quick?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, we'll let you know in a moment.
Can you do an all-in bed, and if you get a bad hand, you destroy the train for a chance to back out?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I kind of get where you're going with that, but I don't think it's going to work like that.
So yeah, you can repair it, sorry.
Yeah, cool. So you can repair the prototype 17, which is good because it's hard to get. You can't craft it. You can't research it. So
Yeah,
if you do
like
get
that
one, yeah.
Where do you find the Glock?
So the Glock, or prototype 17 as it's known in game, is found in the Bradley or Attack Heli crates. It was a low % chance of being found in there based on our initial testing. These loot tables might have been tweaked since then, but it does seem hard to find given it's only in the Bradley or Attack Heli crate and you can't craft or research it. And adding extra, exclusivity, so to speak, to the burst module. Once again, the burst module can only be gotten through recycling a prototype 17. It can't be researched or crafted either, and you don't find it dropped anywhere in game. So the only way to actually get 3-shot burst added to, say, your LR or your custom SMG is to find a prototype 17 and recycle it.
They have changed the damage on the caboose. It's only too high velocity to kill it now.
Oh, too high velocity. Ooh, can you test with
Yep.
normal? Yeah, cool. Because I want to update that on the article too, if that changed. And yeah, that's not uncommon for us to see. We'll test something on staging, and then later that day or a couple days later, it will change because all this stuff is actively in development. And just another reason to take all this with a grain of salt. If you're looking at like one particular thing about the update or a new item and saying, "Ah, that's bullshit, that's crap," well, it very well might change because the devs very often do tweak or balance things after they're in game, once they see people actually using it in production, so to speak.
Oh, so the information you have on the site is still accurate. Just high velocity does more damage.
Oh, okay. So too high velocity is better than using normal rockets.
Correct.
All right, cool. Well, that's your answer then. Too high velocity will destroy a caboose.
So is that P2 with a module basically a Glock?
Yeah, good question. I feel like yeah.
Uh, the ammo difference is the big change.
And the ammo difference there, yeah. Because the stats between the semi-auto pistol and the prototype 17, when you look at them in the inventory menu, they're all the same with the exception of fire rate.
And just because I know people ask, it's 1C4 for the caboose as well.
Ah, cool. Thank you.
Is there any news on the BR servers, please?
No update on the BR servers. And if you look at global news and you look at what's going on in BR after the election and everything, I don't think it bodes well for the BR server situation. Uh, Long and short is we've sent hardware down there. The first round got stolen apparently out of customs, and now the second round of hardware has been sitting in customs for months, and we've got no word, we got no movement, we got nothing. We're just waiting on maybe it'll come through. And in the meantime, our BR servers are hosted out of Texas, and I know that's not ideal for y'all in South America, but thank you for your understanding. And no, we are doing everything we can, short of me flying down to Sao Paulo, which, sorry, I'm not really going to do that, to go try to bribe some public officials. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, we really just have to be patient and wait, and fingers crossed something shifts with that. But no news this week. You better believe me that the week I go live with an update stream and I have an update on the BR servers, I will let you know immediately.
I still see a lot of people asking when is Swipe and when is Force Swipe.
Yes, yes. And I understand, especially if you're in the US today, you would have expected whip and force wipe to be 28 minutes ago, right? But given the time zone change for the UK, they went out of BST and back to GMT last week. The update is an hour later if you're still stateside. If you're in the UK, it's all the same. But that's all to say that the update is expected to come out within the turn of the hour, so within 32 minutes from now. Generally speaking, we see the server update hit first, and that will probably hit in about 15 minutes. And then we'll see the dev blog go live and the client update hit within the following 10 minutes after that. And then we say the update is officially live.
What can we get if we recycle the Glock?
The Glock recycled, or the prototype 17 recycled, you get a semi-auto body, 2 high-quality metal, and most importantly, the burst module. And if you're wondering, what do I get if I recycle a burst module? You get 5 high-quality metal.
Are you able to research any of those?
No, that's the crazy thing, is the prototype 17 and the burst module cannot be researched and subsequently can't be crafted. The only way to get the burst module is to recycle a prototype 17. And the only way to get a prototype 17 is to get lucky and find it in either Bradley or Heli loot crates. And it seemed to, in our testing, have a pretty low percent chance of drop in there. So really, the prototype 17 and subsequently the burst module are going to be very exclusive, it seems, as of how it stands now. Once again, all subject to change. They might tweak the loot tables in a future update. And for all I know, they might have tweaked the loot tables this morning. We haven't retested. So please do take all this with a grain of salt because it is subject to change as always.
Does the site on the P17 glow in the dark?
It does indeed. Yep, yep. So I can show that.
Yeah, that's another nice little feature of it.
What does it say here? Haven't booted up staging yet, but do we have a spawn-able freestanding blackjack table?
No, it doesn't look like that is able to be spawned just easily by admins or anything like that. Uh, that I'm aware of at least. And that's the thing I wanted to mention about blackjack before is it is only as it stands available in the caboose wagons, which are found randomly around the map just like any other train wagon. So that's where you're going to find blackjack. You're not going to find it at outpost or any other place around the map with a safe zone. It is uh, arguably the most dangerous way to gamble in Rust now.
And I saw someone saying, is it actually a thing with the caboose? Yes, it is.
Yeah, the caboose is a thing for sure.
Did the fishing village get a buff? Or the
N-
fishing, I think, not the village, just fishing.
Not that I recall. Did anyone else see anything with that?
No.
No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything that so far.
Yep, don't think so.
Let's do a recap. And
You've
then
read my mind.
yeah, right? And then in the meantime, if you have questions, do at shadow_rustafied, so I see them better in chat.
Yes, excellent. And the update is expected within 29 minutes from now. Once again, the update is an hour later if you're in US time zones because of daylight savings time, but we do expect the server patch to hit in probably 10-15 minutes and then the client update to hit about 10 minutes after that roughly is what we generally see. So by the turn of the hour, we expect this update to be live. Now, to give a little recap, and once again, you can ask questions, shadow_rustified in chat. We've got a new pistol in the game. It is called the Prototype 17, but more commonly in the real world, it's known as a Glock because that's what it looks like. It has an 18-round magazine and offers burst fire. You are going to have a hard time getting one of these bad boys, I think, because you can only find it in Bradley or Heli crates, and it's got a low chance of spawn in there based on our testing. Once again, all subject to change. But if you do come across one, you might just want to take it to a recycler instead of actually using it, because what this offers when you recycle it is access to the newest weapon attachment, which is known as the burst module. And the burst module does exactly what it sounds like. When added to a weapon, it swaps that weapon fire rate to 3-shot bursts, which is also what the prototype has. The prototype pistol, real quick, once again, has very similar stats to the semi-auto pistol. The main difference in the stat sheet for that is the fire rate with the prototype 17 is much greater. But once you get a burst module, you can add it to a custom SMG, an LR300, an M39, an M92, an MP5, a semi-auto pistol, a semi-auto rifle, or a Thompson. So those are the weapons you can add this burst module to. And once again, when you do, the weapon's fire rate goes to a 3-shot burst, which increases the fire rate by like 20% and then lowers the recoil by 20% as well. So that is when you're going to get when using a burst module. Now, also, just to continue the recap here, we do have a new train wagon added to the game. It is a caboose. Like other train wagons, you're just going to find it spawning randomly around rails around the map. And like other wagons, you can add it to a locomotive or whatever and drag it around the map. Now, unlike other wagons, this caboose offers an opportunity to gamble. It actually offers several opportunities to gamble. There are some familiar options like the 2 slot machines or the 4-person poker table, but we also have the newest gambling option in Rust, blackjack. And that is where you're going to find the blackjack tables in the caboose. You're not going to find blackjack anywhere else on the map as it stands now. You will just find it in these cabooses. And you will want to be mindful when gambling of any type in the caboose because there is no safe zone. So danger could be around every corner, and you'll want to be mindful of that. If you want to, say, destroy a caboose, then it has 1.2k HP. And normal rockets, we were testing, it's 2 rockets and 10 explosive rounds, but we just tested and it looks like it's much more advantageous to just use a high velocity rocket because 2 high velocity rockets alone will destroy it. Also, 1C4 will destroy it as well. If you are gambling when a caboose gets destroyed, then one of 2 things will happen. If the explosion kills you as well, then your scrap that was in the blackjack table will just be lootable on the ground. If, however, you survive the caboose explosion, then the scrap that you had in the blackjack table will go back into your inventory. So that's like the 2 scenarios there. Now, blackjack itself is a game most people are probably familiar with, but it's like you try to get uh, the largest sum of cards without busting over 21, and you beat the house. You play against the house, which is just automated, of course, in this instance. You can play alone or with up to 3 other players, and you just bet scrap. It's got a very easy to use and intuitive UI, so you can easily see like what your card count adds up to. You can use B to bet and easily change the amount you're betting with the arrow keys and all that stuff. It's very similar to the look and feel of poker, but it's just a different game. It's blackjack. Oh, and it looks really cool too because it's got this like retro, rusty kind of look. The little computer has a little bow tie and shit. They did a nice job with the art of it as well. So that's cool. Now, and also zooming out of just the blackjack on the caboose as a whole, you can see it has a number of lights and stuff like that going on both on the inside and on the outside. So you can kind of advertise if you're rolling around in a caboose at night, it's definitely going to stand out if you have the lights on. And you may want that, you may not want that, but uh, regardless, you have an option because there are 2 light switches on either entrance, the front and the back. They're the light switches that you just see around monuments these days and everything like that. So you can control the lighting and you don't need electricity or fuel to light up or whatever the caboose. It just somehow generates the power itself. So you don't have to worry about it, which is nice. Also, going on in this update, we got some effects updates. You may recall last month the campfire model changed a little bit, and then the fire effects for campfires and furnaces and the like did get updated last month. This month, we're just seeing continuation on that and the improved fire and lighting visual effects be added to other items such as tuna can lights, barbecues, candles, and Molotov ground fire. So just some nicer looking visual effects coming in with the update today as well. And then, like with all other or most other First Thursday updates, there's a bunch of miscellaneous fixes and quality of life things. As always, there's a full list on the article on rustafied.com. But just some highlights. One, also the Halloween stuff has been disabled. That ran for the past couple of weeks, but now we're in a new month and all that stuff. That is going away when this update comes out. They also fixed the flashlight and laser attachments not working on turrets. They added it so you can drag attachments directly onto weapons to swap them. And you can also right click attachments onto a held weapon. So it's a lot easier to get those attachments managed and everything. Ooh, and the server update is out. Look at that. I'd say that's even maybe a little early. Let me update the thing here. So cool. Server update is out, and that's a great sign. It's nice and early today, which means I think FacePunch is, like usual, right on time with this update. Once again, shout out to FacePunch for not only working tirelessly throughout the days and weeks to produce an update every single month, but then after working hard all month, they've been very consistent with just getting these updates out on time every month, month after month. So thank you, FacePunch, for the incredible work that you do. And just once again, how these updates roll out, we see the server update go live, which we just did. And then probably 10, 15 minutes after that, we'll see the client update hit and the dev blog go live. And once that client update hits, that's when we say, okay, update is officially live. That's when we'll restart and update the servers, and it will force a map wipe across the board. Once again, no sign of a forced blueprint wipe today. However, many servers, including most Rustafied servers, do choose to wipe blueprints when the first Thursday update hits. Now, back to the other stuff and the recap, just a couple other things. If a player is assigned a sleeping bag by a friend when they're on the death screen, it auto updates, so you don't have to respawn again. That's nice. They fixed some stuff with fluid IO entities adding incorrect drain to batteries, and they also fixed memory cells reducing pass-through power or not reducing pass-through power by 1, and they fixed XOR switches passing through power without subtracting consumption. So a bunch of quality of life things and various other things. Once again, see the full list on rustified.com. Real quick, a note on server performance. It has been a struggle the past several weeks with the game. A couple things changes. There is an EAC change, and we've got some AI issues going on. And overall, server performance just took a dip over the past several weeks. And we've been having issues, and this is game wide, with AI getting stuck and causing server crashes. And also, I think it was something with the new EAC thing where it would just lag out for a minute and then kick everyone out of the server all at once. We have modified a couple settings on our end to try to mitigate these things as much as possible. We've also lowered the slots on some of our servers to keep performance in check. I am hoping and have my fingers crossed that performance is much better after this update. Unfortunately, we won't really know until the update's out and the servers are just full. But do know, first and foremost, I apologize and I'm sorry for any inconvenience and poor gameplay experience you might have had on Rustified servers over the past several weeks. I know it has not been ideal. Much of this is just completely out of our realm of control, but we are doing everything we can to, manage the best gameplay that we possibly can. And yeah, intention is that it's just much better after this update comes out. But do know that we're doing everything we can to uh, provide you guys with the best gaming experience possible. So thank you for your understanding and patience with that. And thank you, Facepunch, again for working on fixing these issues and getting this stuff running smooth once again. Now, once again, the server update is live. We're waiting on the client update to hit momentarily, and then we'll say the update is live. In the meantime, Shadow, do we have any other questions from the audience here?
We do have a few. Will the prototype 17 always give a burst module when recycled, even if it's completely broken?
Can you recycle a completely broken item?
It's a good question.
I
haven't
actually
tested it
authentically
with
forget.
with the prototype, so I wouldn't like to say for sure. I could try and wear one out, but it'll probably take me a little while.
Yeah, we might not have time for that, but consistently when we recycled a working and maybe people, yeah, no, you can't recycle a completely broken item. I thought that was the case, but I just haven't tried to do it in like forever.
Jay, and I
But
haven't tested it with the 17, so I don't want to say.
yeah, but you can repair the prototype 17. And consistently, if it is at least in somewhat working order, we are seeing the burst module obtained through recycling. And once again, that is the only way we're seeing to obtain the burst module as it stands now.
Also, while we wait, I just spawned in a cauldron, so I saw some people wanting to see the light on that. It's inside the base.
Oh, I'm
Are you-
sorry. I'm seeing in chat that you 100% can recycle broken shit. So, okay. Sorry. Apparently you can. We'll try to break this prototype 17 and see what we get, but I'm not sure we're going to have time.
Yeah, give me one
Can
sec.
you-
Here's the cauldron.
Looking nice.
Can you add the module to M249 and AK?
No, you cannot. The burst module can only be added to custom SMG, LR300, M39, M92, MP5 semi-auto pistol, semi-auto rifle, and the Thompson. That is all based on our testing. Once again, all this is subject to change, but yeah, that's what we were getting from testing.
Can you combine the burst module with a muzzle boost?
Good question. Have we
I
tried that?
believe so. Let me double check.
In the meantime, what type of content does Rustafied make?
Well, our primary bread and butter, so to speak, is just tracking development news. So every Thursday, we have an article that goes live on rustified.com that summarizes everything going on in the development cycle with Rust. And then every Thursday as well, 1 p.m. Eastern, generally speaking, on Twitch, we do an update preview stream. Now, what we've also started doing recently is one, we're doing the VODs onto YouTube the day after. So if you missed the live update stream, you can see it on YouTube on Friday. And we've also got two very talented video editor guys who are working on developing some new content. So we're looking over the next couple weeks to not only start developing more content for guides and new development stuff going on, but also some content from inside our servers. We want to do maybe some raid cam stuff, and we're playing with a bunch of new content to create as well. So over the next several weeks and months, you'll probably see a lot more stuff coming about, and you can track it on Twitter, Rustified on Twitter, or Rustified Gaming on YouTube.
Why has Rust been so laggy lately?
Yeah, that is a good question. And from a server owner standpoint, what we've noticed is over the past several weeks, server performance and server FPS specifically has taken a bigger hit. It is not as optimized as it has been at previous points in the past. I'm hoping that gets better with some optimizations ideally coming in this update, but it's been a number of things. AI has been fucking up, which causes server crashes. There's been EAC networking thing. I believe at least that's what's causing it, where the server lags out for a hot second and then it boots everyone from the server. And overall, once again, server performance has just been crappier, which has made us have to lower the max number of slots in some of our servers, especially our more main servers. Once again, my fingers are crossed that performance all the way around is improved after this update, but we're not really going to know until the update is live. And unfortunately, from a server owner standpoint, there's only so many things we can do when it's really the game that just needs to be optimized. So know that we are doing everything we can do to have it run as smooth as possible. And I'm hoping that experience is better post wipe than it has been the last couple of weeks, because I know it has been a frustrating couple of weeks. Believe you me, we're frustrated over here too.
Hey, Bugs, did you want
Yeah.
the 17 completely broken, was it?
Yeah, let's completely break it and then see if we can get a burst module out of it.
Sure.
Can you put the Glock in a turret?
Oh, good question as well. Let's test that out when we get a moment. Ooh, and the dev blog is live.
Yep, looks like it's pretty much 100%. Haven't recycled and not seen a burst.
Cool. So even if it's broken, you recycle, you can get a burst module. So that's cool. And pardon the misinformation, the confusion earlier when we said you couldn't recycle broken items. You can. My bad. But the dev blog is live. And let's see. I'm just loading it up here. Let me tweet about it. And that is a good sign with the devlog being live. The server update is out and has been out for about 10 minutes now. That means we should see this client update hit any moment now. And then we'll say the update is officially live.
Why am I not just calling it a Glock?
I don't know if that was some copyright issue or something like that. I figured it probably was like maybe a copyright issue, but it's weird how it seems like all other video games call it a Glock anyway. Maybe they just wanted to be a little different and so call it something a little, give it more of a rusty name for some reason. So Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but I mean, it definitely looks like a Glock.
Do you know if the bodies fall through the floor on the train? I
I
can do an
don't. Yeah, let's test real quick.
Yeah, we can do. You wanna come to the train, Shadow? So I can.
Oh, and I want to say there was a question before about
Oh, you-
spawning a blackjack table. There's no way to do it through the F1 items menu, but in F1, if you're an admin, you can just do spawn blackjack machine dot static, all one word, and that will put a blackjack machine on the map. So I just wanted to clarify that it's not available in the F1 items menu, but you can spawn it manually with that command. Once again, that command is spawn.blackjackmachine.static. And not spawn dot, spawn space, blackjackmachine.static.
So yeah, for sure. In testing the bodies, also things like Molotovs and stuff. It seems like the fire drops through as well on the caboose.
And yeah, that's very likely probably going to be changed. I know they have been working on a number of collision things with vehicles and with bodies and all that stuff. So it's possible we'll see some improvements to that in the near future.
Yeah.
did you want to try the turret? See if it fit in the
Oh,
turret?
for sure. Yep.
Nice. And then I heard something about letters not being placeable in building block zones. Is that true?
I'm not aware of that one.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
What was that? Sorry, I missed the. I was too busy trying to get the turret up. What was that?
Someone heard
project?
that letters cannot be placeable in building block zones.
Oh, I don't know. No, I haven't heard anything for that one. That was a very long time ago. That was the case. Oh.
Yeah, it does ring a bell from like months ago, but
Many years, I think, literally.
man, honestly, after tracking this stuff for going on, I think it's like 9 years now, it's a lot of it is mushing together in my head, I'll be honest. So it's hard to keep all this information present, but we do our best. And once again, we are not developers of the game. We're just fans of the game like you who love running the best servers that we possibly can and reporting on development news as it happens. So I do want to just take a moment to thank everyone who tunes in and watches and supports us, people who give bits and subscribe on Twitch, and to our wonderful, beautiful VIP customers. Thank you so much, because literally that's the only way that we can do what we do is through the support of the community. So to everyone and anyone who supports us, much love to you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing, reporting on development news and running the best servers that we can. And thank you for continuing to support us.
How many bullets are in the Glock extended mag?
Let's test that real quick. I think,
Yep,
didn't it
for
go up to
sure.
22? I forget. That was in one of our testing documents.
Do you think Rostovs is ever going to add a craftable Glock?
I don't know. I think maybe we'll see some changes with this Glock. You know, maybe people won't be able to get it as much as they want, and I could see them making it a little more obtainable. I don't know that it will ever be craftable, but as it stands now, it does seem pretty hard to get, and yeah, so everything's subject to change.
I'm pretty angry in a turret.
I see someone saying put M39 with a burst module in the turret.
And for anyone,
Asking if it's craftable.
no, the Prototype 17, aka the Glock, is not craftable. It's only found in Heli and Bradley crates. And then the only way to get the burst module is to recycle a Glock or a Prototype 17. Now everyone's got me saying Glock. I was trying not to say Glock because it's called Prototype 17. But hey, if it looks like a Glock, if it smells like a Glock. Oh, wait, that was about ducks, wasn't it? Anyway.
I'm just sitting here.
Ooh, game client update. Ooh, baby. This update is live, everybody. And let me update that. And shout out to Facepunch once again for just being right on point with getting these updates out and for doing all the hard work on developing this awesome game every month. Also, thank you, Facepunch, for your support with Charitable Rust every year. Honestly, we wouldn't have nearly the impact that we do without Facepunch supporting us and allowing us to get the items on the item store and everything. And with that, if you look at twitch.facepunch.com, you can get a preview of some of the Charitable Rust Twitch drops going live later this month. November 19th and 20th, Charitable Rust. It's our 8th annual year. We've raised over $800,000 for various charities. We're looking to bring that cumulative total over $1 million this year. We're raising funds for World Central Kitchen, an amazing organization that brings food and meals to people all over the world who are most in need of it. You can check out more information on them at wck.org. But join us November 19th and 20th this month on the Charitable Rust official event servers on the official list. We got tons of prizes. We got talent shows. We got races. We got game modes. We got all this stuff. It's an awesome time if you've never done it before, and all for this amazing cause. We're going to run a trailer here as we wind down, but I do just once again want to thank everyone for tuning in. We're not developers of the game. We're just fans of the game and an independent organization. And so your support means the world to us. And I'm so honored and grateful to be a part of this community. And I have so much love and respect for all of you. And so thank you for everything. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my co-MCs, Artemis, Shadow, and Cobalt, as always, for joining me here.
You're welcome as always, Bugs.
Yep, you're most welcome.
And shout out to the whole team at Rustafied. Thank you guys for everything that you do. And with that, we're going to wind this down. The update is live. We're going to make sure our servers get up and running. We're going to keep an eye on them. Let's get some smooth gameplay, some awesome fresh wipe gameplay going on. And with that, we will be back as always next week for an update preview stream. And I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. This is Bugs signing off.
We have a video, by the way.
And we have a video. So
We do,
yeah,
we
I'm
do.
signing off, but look at the video. Anyway, see you guys.